Your word is subscribe.
Subscribe. Is that a noun or a verb?
It is a verb.
May I have the definition, please?
Arrange to receive something regularly, typically a publication, by paying in advance.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Everyone should go subscribe to Caleb Watches Movies on YouTube.
Subscribe. SUBSKRIBE. Subscribe.
That is incorrect.
Son of a bitch! Bad Words, released in 2013 and is directed and starring Jason Bateman that I just found out looking up notes for this review, and it's also starring Kathryn Hahn. And the reason why we're talking about Bad Words today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my subscribers, one of my consistent contributors and donators on this channel, James Filbury. Thank you so much for this recommendation. I remember seeing a bunch of trailers for this movie when it was coming out, and it kind of looked like, oh, it's one of those, again, raunchy, trying to be funny, or really trying to be funny type films, so I never got around to watching it. But watching it for this channel, I'm actually very happy that I did, because there's an innocence to a lot of this vulgar humor that we have in here, and I just think Jason Bateman was fantastic in this film. 40-year-old Guy Trilby discovers a loophole in the Golden Quill Spelling Bee stipulations, where participants in the spelling bee cannot have graduated past the 8th grade. Luckily, Guy did not pass the 8th grade, and has decided to enter the spelling bee and kick in all these kids' ass. Along the way, every chairman and operator of the spelling bee does everything in their power to try to get him to lose. But Guy is like the ultimate speller, which is a great thing to be, I guess, at 40 years old. But there's also a hidden agenda that he has for entering the spelling bee, and actually, it kept me guessing almost the entire time until we finally reveal it in the third act of why he's doing what he's doing and the message that he's trying to get with competing in the spelling bee, which I was like, you know what, that's actually a really great reason. It's one big giant middle finger, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to spoil it. I think this is what has been missing from the annual spelling bee competition that has happened annually. I don't know. I don't watch the spelling bee, but I think everyone would, and I would, if they treated it more like WWE wrestling, where we had shit talking and trash talking back and forth between competitors as they go up to the microphone to spell their next word. I think that would be awesome, because in this movie, it's frickin' hilarious. I don't know what it is about seeing the hopes and dreams in children's eyes just being dashed, and you see it melting from their eyes, but I found it hilarious. It makes me a terrible person, I know, but God. That was great. Bateman just getting into the mind of his competitor by saying that he had sex with his mother and the divorce is gonna be terrible. I'm a disturbed soul. I know this. This is why I'm laughing. This is one of those movies that's just completely catching me off guard and is completely surprising. I had it in my head that this film fell into a certain type of storytelling and a certain type of genre. And yes, it has elements of those things, but really there is a heart to this movie that personally I latched onto. It's a message about how you can make yourself into your own person based on who you are and the choices that you make, not based on who your parents are, who your father is, who your mother is, or what happens in their life, or the environment that you grew up in. No, it's the choices that you yourself make, and when you reach a certain level, you can look back on maybe decisions that parents or lack of parents made towards you, and you can just hold up your middle fingers and say fuck you to them. I really appreciate it. And Jason Bateman, I can see where his character could come off as being an absolute prick and a dick, and how people just hate him like crazy. You hear all the parents in this movie go to the board and go to the chairperson, and it's like, I paid thousands of dollars for studying and training for my kid, only for this 40-year-old man to come in and win. That is just not right. I get that. But when those barriers start coming down and we see exactly why he's doing what he's doing, I just fall for him. Yeah, I totally buy him. And he's only amplified and supported by a couple of great actors and actresses. Kathryn Hahn, who is one of the funniest people on this planet. I've said it before, she's a national treasure. She is great here. She has some very heartfelt moments, but also some hilarious moments as well. Like when they're in the broom closet having sex and her just saying, "Don't look at me! Stop looking at me! I'm almost there! Oh god, you ruined it! Now I gotta start all over again! Stop looking at me!" Hilarious. And we also have Allison Janney, who I forgot to mention at the beginning of this review. She plays the chairperson, the overseer of the spelling bee. And when she meets Guy and is deadpanning, trash talking with him, I could have used another hour of that, just seeing them go back and forth with each other and riffing off of each other. She was fantastic. Not in this movie a lot, though, unfortunately, but from what we get of her, she is great. And Philip Baker Hall plays the creator of the spelling bee, really, like, this is his baby, and he has some very heartfelt moments as well. I'm shocked. I'm just shocked at this movie, that it hit me here in the feels. That being said, though, this film is a very simple movie, and I felt at points with where we were going with our characters and how scenes were progressing, I felt like it wanted to take just like an extra couple of steps in a scene, if that makes sense. Basically, the scenes and the movie happens, and then it's done. It just felt like it wanted to have just a little bit more, and it was going to that more place, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But we never got there. We just got kind of a surface plot of, it's a spelling bee, I'm gonna win it, and there it is. I'm not sure if I'm making sense with that, but it makes sense in my brain and my feelings about this film, so I'm just gonna go with that. I think Bad Words is a little delight, and I definitely understand why someone would watch this film and not like it at all. That's what this movie is all about. It has a bunch of people hating on it because of, one, the title and the language that is used in here, and also the subject matter. I get it. But when you get into the characters and you show a little bit of empathy towards these people, I think it's quite enjoyable, and I had a really good time with this movie. I outwardly laughed at points, which I never do. I never do while watching a movie. If I do, it's more of a, heh, but here I straight up laughed, and that made me happy. I like when that happens. I'm gonna give Bad Words 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. The next one is another PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my subscribers and contributors on here, Zachariah Kennison. You recommended a movie called The Adventures of Robin Hood. This is the classic. This is like the Errol Flynn I want to say 38 or 39 version of Robin Hood. And you gotta specify that because there have been like 200, 300 different versions of Robin Hood in cinema in the last 100 years. So you gotta be specific. I've never watched this one though. I've seen countless other Robin Hood tales, but I've never gone back and watched. I don't think this is the original, but I think it's the original blockbustery type film, or at least the original popular version of Robin Hood movies. If that makes sense. But we'll check out Errol Flynn and his green tights next time. So guys, if you've seen Bad Words, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of The Adventures of Robin Hood. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.